This is a trader investor. I want to do a quick video on Bitcoin. The reason is this morning I mentioned about price giving us a potential terminal shakeout, a potential low volume sell-off, and what I didn't mention is that there's also price manipulation that could take place. And what do I mean by that? Well, you have this support line where price has come down and bounced from it a few times. Come down, bounce, come down, bounce, come down, bounce. So 1, 2, 3 times it bounced in that area. 4 times if you count leading up to today. So once we have the 4 touches, it is very possible, now that we have this line, this is jump the creek line if this was a distribution area, but it's also the area of support for our accumulation area. So we don't know which one yet. I'm still waiting to really confirm, but there is this area of manipulation. Price, this is the 4th time, as I mentioned here. This is the 4th time it's bouncing from here. So there are 2 types of traders. There are those who said, well, 1, 2, 3 in the past, this is the 4th time I'm taking it. And they are in a long position down here. And then there are those that say, well, 4th time I missed this one because it happened, very early mornings and I was not ready. And so when it came and touched it here, and it kind of felt like it was rebounding, I'll remove this box here, make it bigger so you can see when price drove down and had this pin bar, there more buyers got added here. What did that create? What that creates is lots and lots of liquidity down here. What do I mean by liquidity? Buy stops, sell stops, sell stops. So there's stop loss orders are sitting here. There's plenty of stop loss orders sitting here. And institutions, they know this. They know this because that's what we all learn. Area of support, bounce back, put your stop loss on the other side of support line, and boom, there we go. However, this is where the manipulation takes place. Whether you entered early today, hoping for, that bounce to the next level higher, or you entered later on in the day. So what I mean by early in the day, what I mean by that is this happened at 5 p.m. last night. That's when the day switches, right? 5 p.m. Pacific time. That's when the day switches. So if you had missed this and you were trading maybe in Europe or in Asia and you caught this around 2, 3, 4 a.m. in the morning, that's again another entry here, and those players got played because this is where all of these is where they had their stops, so they took their positions. That's manipulation number 1. Manipulation number 2 are those who say, oh, this just broke, we're just broke. So the breakout traders, they're in a position either at the break of this hourly bar, or if they were trading 15 minutes a little bit earlier, they would enter, and as price goes down, they're happy. Yes, it's going down, it has collapsed, Bitcoin has collapsed, the death cross has already happened, so Bitcoin is collapsing. I said be careful because that death cross is going to do this before it does this. So I said be careful because right now we're here. Price came down, we're somewhere here. It could go higher before it collapses. That's how death cross works, because the moving average cross is already late. Price has gone down, it is having a rally, it's going to go down some more. So we're going to see that rally soon. And so what's happening is that, okay, now a lot of erasing I need to do here. So what's happening is that the people who went long at the break, at the test of support and up, test of support and up, they were stopped out. People who took the other side of the trade, took the price down for a while, they were happy, and then immediately in 2 hours price reversed and they're stopped out. So most of the time their stop would be a little bit above this swing, or it could be above the swing. Maybe they're not stopped out yet, but they're about to get stopped out. So if they're not stopped out, they see this, they see price making a double top, they might get encouraged to stay, or they might get encouraged to get out. But what I always say is, when there's area of manipulation, you want to wait. Price is that does this, gets the manipulation taken care of, and then it does this. This is your entry. Your safest entry is here. You could also do it here after the manipulation has taken place. So in this instance, manipulation to the upside is wiped out, manipulation to the downside is wiped out, or in the process of being wiped out, depending on where the liquidity is sitting. They know this very well, and we have additional liquidity now that we have formed this double top here. That's an additional liquidity. So that's liquidity here that is waiting for us. So are you going to wait for manipulations? And I don't see a break of structure either to enter to the long side, right? Price came down. What do I always say? Break of structure. We have a high, we have a low, we have a lower high. There's no break of structure. We have a lower low. I need to see a higher high, a higher low, and continuation. Boom, an entry. I don't see any break of structure here, but of course people are trigger happy. They want to see bounce from support. I'm getting in as quickly as possible. It's a disaster, because more times than not, these are the people who have said, hey, it worked for me here, it worked for me here, it worked for me here. They're going to increase their position sizing because it has kept working for them, and they lose it all. So that's why for me, I want to be more careful. And in this particular case, what I gave you earlier has worked. High, low, higher high, because we are breaking this, higher low, and boom, here's your entry. This is why this one has worked. Not because we touched here, it's because we broke structure. In this instance, here, there is no structure that is broken. There is no structure that is broken. So that's why you should not be in on the long side. On the put side, on the short side, you should not be in until you have confirmation that this structure is intact, meaning you have this, here, because this is area of manipulation, I don't enter it, and I want to see this, right? I want to see this area of manipulation being a resistance. Otherwise, once we're inside here, we could be a smaller consolidation in here. I don't know this, so I'm not rushing to enter on either side, on the long side or the short side. I'm not in a hurry to enter those positions. So these people who are in here, are manipulated out. People who are in here on the short side are manipulated out, or in the process of being manipulated out in this zone. This is a zone where they have their stops being manipulated out. If they have their stop up here, that's a lot of distance to cover. That's $6,000 you're going to lose for every Bitcoin. That's a lot of distance to cover. You might be able to absorb it, but I don't want to take that kind of a chance, right? So if I tell you price breaks down, this is your now area of resistance, and you break this level here, this is your entry, because this manipulation has already taken taking care of, and you can set your stop somewhere in this area. This is where you can set your stop, because now price is giving you the indication, hey, I've done manipulating and now it's time to go. So for now we don't see any of that. So this is why I wanted to do this video, is to show you that manipulation happens, liquidity is there, and they will definitely take advantage of these liquidities and manipulate the prices. And which side do you play of that liquidity line? Here's the liquidity line. So which side did you play, or did you stay out to get a confirmation? That's why I wanted to do this video, just to encourage you to say, hey, be patient, it will come to you, the trades will come. Right now, if you wanted to be long, what gains did you have by entering when you are at an area of manipulation and manipulation has not taken place, or there was no break of structure? You have zero gains, right? And once, twice, zero gains. Third time, when we break back inside, what gains do you really have, unless you have a huge position to target this area, right? You say, hey, I go back inside, so I'm going to take a position somewhere here at this open 31.7, and I'm going to target 33, right? We don't go all the way to the top, we give ourselves a little bit room. So 31.7 to 33, so that's $1,300. Yeah, you could do that, but in an asset like Bitcoin that is in the tens of thousands, 5-digit number, I want a lot more gain than just this 1,000 change gain, right? So I want to see break of structure, then I can target here, I can target here, I can target here, and I can target this area of potential liquidity. If I'm waiting during this accumulation or distribution phase, and if I want to play, I can play it in this manner, knowing that this could be some headwinds. I am prepared for these headwinds and I take them. But for now, there was no break of structure. So if there is no break of structure, there was no entry. And once Bitcoin breaks structure, all others will follow suit. All others will give us the entry that we are looking for. But for now, same with Ethereum. Area of manipulation. So if this was a true jump the creek line, you would see price break down, tested, and continue this way. You don't see price coming back here. Of course, you can say, well, this jump the creek line is not accurate, I want to move it up slightly. This is acceptable, but still, no matter what, you're still not there, right? You can keep moving it up to make it look like you're getting what you need, but that's not. I don't like to redraw. I have my first initial estimate where the jump the creek line is, and I just leave it there. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong, because I'm not wrong that far, just a tad bit. And so today, what we see is that price was manipulated. Enter here wrong, enter here wrong, maybe enter here, and then price wants to go down. If not, then you'll be fine. So this is why I really wanted to do this. Drill really hard the idea of manipulation at an area of value. When you have an area of value which is a liquidity, a lot of stops on either side. Whichever side you play, there's a lot of stops on either side. So those institutions, they know they're going to hunt them down, and by hunting them down, they take you out of the game. Have you increased your position size because it has worked so well for you in the last couple rounds? That's the game they play with you. They have to give you some to take your money. They give you a little bit, and then when they see that liquidity is getting big, that's when they know people are piling on. They wipe you out. They're after your money. They have nothing against the trader investor personally, but every account that has money, they want it. So I don't want to let them have it. So I just follow them. I follow what they do. And if I see an area of manipulation and they could manipulate it here, I wait. I wait for that manipulation to clear. So I need to clear this high, and I need to make a new low somewhere. Maybe this is the low. So once we clear this high, then we can target this area. We can target here. We can target here. We can target here. We can target here. If you're a long-term buyer, not a trader, then you're accumulating position as price goes down. You don't know the bottom, so you're accumulating position. Perfect. I have nothing against that style of trading, that approach. I have nothing against that, and you are not the one I am mentioning here when I say don't get in here anticipating a quick move up here and I will cash out, or a move up here and I will cash out. If that's your expectation, then this is not a good entry. You want to wait for manipulation to take place, retest the manipulation area as a support again without going past it, break new highs, break structure, enter your position. Yes, you will miss out on $200 per Ethereum, but you're more likely to have these gains of maybe $300-400 per Ethereum. This is very important to understand. It's not capturing the maximum per trade that you should go after. It's maximizing your profitability, maximizing your success rate, long term being successful. And those small numbers, they add up. And once you become really good at it, instead of trying to go one as a trader and not as a long-term holder, as a trader, instead of trying to say I want to capture 500 point move in Ethereum, what about if I capture 250 and I do 2 of them instead of 1? Right? A lot easier to attain 250 versus 500. What if I do just 100 and I do 5 of them? Right? A lot easier again to go after that 100. Because if my goal is to capture this from 1900 to, let's say, 23. So 23 is up here, but let's just say 23. So if my goal is to capture $400 in Ethereum, then why don't I just do 4 of them, and after $100 move, I'm done. I've captured my 400. Now I don't have to exit. I can exit 3 of them and trail stop the other one to get it to give me extra money as much as it can, as much as it wants until there's break of structure. That's fine. But if my goal is to make 400 in one move, then why not multiply your position size? Of course, you have to be able to afford it, right? When I say multiply, but the way with crypto, the beauty of crypto is that you can buy in small quantity. You don't have to buy 1 Ethereum, right? You can buy a tens of an Ethereum. And so when you buy a tens, your move is not to capture 400, then it becomes to capture 40. So instead of trying to capture 40, why not try to capture 4 times 10 or 10 times 4, whichever way you look at it, right? So if you instead of trying to go for this $400 move, if you go for the $100 move, which will give you $40 if you're doing a tens, which will give you $10 if you're doing a tens and you do 4 of them. So instead of investing a full 2,000 roughly, let's say full 2,000, so tens is 200 and times 2 is times 4 is 800. So for 800 you control a little bit of Ethereum, not a full size, but you get your move anyway because your account size, that's how it allows it. So you can structure your account size to where you're trading in batches, and just multiply your batches. Just multiply your batches so you can get your gain without having price move a lot of distance. It's harder to go a lot of distance, but it's easier to multiply your size, you know, your quantity, and just get a small movement, and you get your move. You want 400, you get it. You want 40, you get it, depending on your account size. You want 4, you get it, right? We talk about account size. So if you can only do a tens and you're practicing and you just want to put in very, very little, right? Instead of 2,000, you want to put in 200, or you want to put in 20. So instead of putting 20, put 80. So you can multiply it by 4. And so instead of waiting for price to go a full 400 points, you just needed to go 100 points, right? And 100 point, let's look at this 100 point. From here to here is, let's remove these drawings, 70 points, right? If you had just entered at the re-entry of this line, price has come already very, very close to that for you. Very close, right? So this is what I'm talking about. I'm not saying this was an area to enter. I'm just giving you an example, right? Because the people who had entered earlier here at this bounce, and here's $110 move, right? All you needed to do was just multiply by 4. So instead of waiting for this 400, right? Instead of waiting for this, you just do this times 4, or you know, you get the same result. This is what I'm talking about. Sorry, I'm going on a rant here because I just really want to drill the idea down that don't trade at the area of manipulation. Don't be in a hurry to enter. Just enter at the right confirmation and just go for smaller gains, but bigger size, position size, same results. This is what I wanted to capture. So, but mainly my thought was to show you the area of manipulation in Bitcoin. Once Bitcoin is manipulated and once Bitcoin resumes a direction, up or down, other cryptos will follow. So in order for you to understand this, study Bitcoin, watch what Bitcoin is doing, and position yourself with your other crypto accordingly, because once Bitcoin recovers from this downfall, then we're off to the races again. But there's a chance we will see 20k before that happens. There's a big chance. We don't know. We just trade what we see. Alright everyone, take care for now, and I'll see you in the next video.